Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Defining Discipline podcast. I'm your host, Scott. Defining discipline is a lifestyle, a mentality, and a brand. And within this podcast, we're going to focus on self-improvement as you follow along with me on my journey. We'll also hear from special guests of all walks of life on this podcast and their remarkable journeys that led them to where they are today. Today is day 176 of my journey. It was at the beginning of the year this year when I challenged myself to run 365 days in a row this year, all outside, bearing the elements, whatever they may bring. I also challenged myself to run 1,500 miles within this time frame. Now, this is only my second year ever running. Within the first full year of running in 2020, I was able to run 1,002 miles, and I ran 175 days out of the 365 days in that year. So me challenging myself 365 days in a row, as well as 1,500 miles, is a 50% step up in miles compared to last year, as well as a 100% step up in the amount of days compared to last year, not just to mention in a row. I have also challenged myself to run two big races this year, one being a 50K trail race, which I was able to finish in 7 hours, 15 minutes, and 22 seconds, and was still able to get out there the following day and continue the run streak. So I am officially an ultra runner, and like I said, the streak is continuing. So that is a big, huge accomplishment that I am very excited about. The other race I have coming up this year is the Detroit Free Press Marathon. That is in October. It is supposed to normally go across the border into Windsor and then come back under the tunnel into Detroit, but COVID restrictions, they did just give an update that we may not be able to do that, and it may just stick in Detroit. We'll see, though, as times get closer, what the protocol is going to be. But also very excited about that race. I'm going to be doing the Motor City Challenge, where I run the 1 mile, the 5K, as well as the marathon. That is in October, so really looking forward to that. Other than that, though, let's kind of just get into mileage for the day, week, month, and year. So like I said, today was day 176 in a row. Today I put in a 10K, just a little bit over, 6.3 miles. It was a little wet, a little rainy, so I got the rain gear on, the Nike Pegasus Shields. And then that put me, that 6.3 put me at 19.8 miles for the week. And that put me at 112.4 miles for the month, which put me at 772.6 miles for the year. Let me just go and double check that one. Yeah, 772.6 miles for the year, guys. So we're approaching 800. So yes, let's actually focus here real quick on this monthly miles of 112.4. Every single month, I challenge myself to do a 100-mile challenge. And I do that in honor of a charity in which I donate money to. And I also start a coinciding fundraiser that follows the 100-mile challenge, where I try to raise money as well as awareness for that charity. So in the first 5 months, we were able to raise money for 5 great charities. Now we're sitting here in the month of June, and we are raising money for Alzheimer's Association, because the month of June is Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, guys. So if you would like to make a donation to June's 100-mile challenge, you can find the link to do so on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story. Or my personal page's Instagram story and my personal page's Facebook story. It's actually through my personal Facebook page. But you could find the links on any of those stories. On the top of the stories, you will find the link where it says donate on Facebook. You click on that, it'll open up the Facebook page where you can make your donations. Know that all donations that get made to this fundraiser go directly to it. Facebook is not taking any cut or any percentage of this fundraiser, or your donations for this fundraiser. That's what I should have said. So know that, and I do know times are tough right now. Not everyone is able to donate, but if you would still like to help out, the best thing you can do is just click that share button as well, so we can raise awareness for it by just you spreading awareness for it on your page, letting people know what it's about and that it's even going on. That is a big, big help. It goes a lot farther than you may think. because some people don't even know what, that this is even going on right now, or even what it's about, like I said. And there's a lot of people that you can reach that I can't reach because maybe I'm not friends with them. And to get them to even share is even better. So let's just try to continue to share and raise awareness for this fundraiser, as well as raise some money for it too here in the month of June, guys. So like I said, you can find the links to do that on the Defining Discipline Instagram and Facebook stories, as well as my personal pages, Instagram and Facebook stories. Other than that, before we get into today's actual episode, real quick, I'm gonna do a quick touch up. A few episodes back, I emphasized how I wanted to become more literate, and that was one of the goals at the beginning of the year as well. But I kind of fell off of it and really focused on my running and my mileage and all of that, which is fine and dandy. I kind of filled my plate up too much, but I still kind of want to really focus and put a little bit of time into a little bit of more reading and just expanding my vocabulary a little bit more as well. So, decided every episode just to kind of talk about the book I'm reading, how much I read so far, and just have a word of the day. So currently, right now, today, the word of the day is affluent. It is having abundance of goods or riches, wealthy. Or a other definition for it is flowing in abundance. So that is today's word of the day. Now, the next thing is the book I am reading. I was able to get another little, about 30 minutes in, about another 5 pages into Beyond Order, Jordan Peterson's second book in his 12 Rules for Life series. Like I said, still in the first chapter. It's a great chapter. I'm actually really enjoying the book a lot. And like I said, I just sometimes, for me, I'm not a very good reader, so I'm trying to get better at it. I can read. I have no problem reading the words, but I have a problem of actually just actually retaining it and putting it in my brain. So sometimes I'll just read really fast and go through the page and not really even realize what I read. So it takes me a long time to actually just read and grasp and understand, like, oh, okay, like put the picture in my head, like visualize the word into a story in my head or whatever the case is. So I'm still getting used to that. So I'm a slow reader, not too fast, especially trying to grasp something as advanced, it's not too advanced, but just grasp something of this nature. So it's gonna be a little bit of slower read, but I'm really enjoying it so much so far. So that being said, got the word of the day done. Got talked about the book. We've talked about mileage for the day. We've talked about the fundraiser. Now let's talk about today's episode 176. Today's theme is bar, and we're gonna talk about that, guys. The bar. In life, you can set goals, and when you obtain a goal, you could either do two things. You can say, okay, I obtained that goal, and then that's it. Like that, you've accomplished it, which is what I feel like a lot of people who have never actually obtained their goals yet, or maybe have never obtained a goal in general, they believe that. I think they truly think that once you reach that point of obtaining your goal, that everything's fine and it's perfect and it's great. But really, I think what happens, especially me from experience from this past, going on 2 years of running, what I've realized is when you hit your goal, that goal just in turn turns into a bar. It's no longer a goal, but is a bar that you have set. And once you set that bar, it's always going to be there until you raise it and continuously raise it. And something I've learned through this is you set these goals, and like I said, you work and you train all throughout to get ready to accomplish these goals, or you put all the work forward to accomplish the goals. And that's where all the value is in the work. And then you obtain the goal, and like I said, then you kind of it's kind of like a roller coaster. You kind of you lose that good feeling because you kind of feel lost a little bit for a second. But like I said, when you turn in turn flip that obtained goal into a bar that you have now set for yourself. Again, an example for me, in 2020, I challenged myself to run 1,000 miles. It being my first year ever officially running, I wanted to run 1,000 miles. And I wanted to also, within that time frame, run my first official marathon. And at the beginning of 2020, before all COVID broke out, it looked like it could have been possible with me going to be able to run the Detroit Free Press Marathon. So I signed up for it, had it all planned out. So I set these goals that at the time seemed attainable, but still in the back of my mind, very a little skeptical, and a lot of people, if you are friends with me beforehand, a lot of my friends may have noticed I didn't do a lot of posting or talking about my running throughout the whole year of 2020, just for that fact. I didn't want to jinx myself. I didn't want to talk about my goals. I wanted to just really focus on myself, and I didn't want to put it out there. I just wanted to really focus on the goals myself. So like I said, I had those goals, and I was able to set both those goals and accomplish both those goals of hitting the 1,000-mile mark. Literally the last day of the year, I actually had to run 3 days. I think I ran the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st, all like decent mileage day, mid miles or medium mile days, 10Ks and stuff like that. I think the last 3 days of the year just to hit that 1,000-mile mark. And then on top of it, I continued to run this streak. So I'm on day 176, but technically I'm really on like 179. Well, we're not counting that because we're doing fresh off the day one of this year. But in general, I had to really push it to hit that, to set that goal of 1,000. And then as soon as it was set, just that goal of the mileage, I was like, all right, well, now I know I can do 1,000. So that's the bar. Clearly I have to do more than that. And clearly I have to do more than that. Like I have to hit 1,000, like at a certain point. Like I want to make sure like I'm improving and I'm continuously resetting the bar and resetting it and resetting it and resetting it. And that is a mentality that I really never had and never got. And like I said, I think it's something that a lot of people don't understand because their goals maybe have never been reached yet, or whatever the case may be. I think some people maybe have reached their goals and are just content and don't want to do better, don't want to try to improve. I don't know what the case is, but for me, it really, when I hit a goal, I set that bar. Okay, and we talked about mileage. Okay, and I gave you the example of me running my first marathon. Yeah, it got canceled, but I didn't let that stop me. Me and my buddy Joe decided we were going to run one in a local park together. He crushed me then. He even waited up for me for a lot, so he probably could have got a lot better time even than what he got. But he still beat me then because I made him just leave me eventually. I think like mile 18, I'm like, no, dude, just keep going. Like, I'm holding you up. Go. So I was able to finish, though, my first unofficially timed marathon within 5 hours and 22 minutes. So I set that bar. And I was like, all right, well, there's that bar. So now I know this is the marathon pace that I have currently. Now, next year when I run a marathon, I'm going to shave off lots of time off that. I have a goal of shaving off, I'd like to hit 4 hours. I would like to shave off like an hour and 22 minutes. I would like to get a good steady pace and really get going. Is that maybe aiming too high? Possibly. But at the same time, I'd rather aim high. I'd rather aim high and possibly go for it and fail a little bit than not aim high enough. So I have that bar. So my goal this year, like I said, is to really shave off some time. And now I even set my bar for my 50K race. You know, 7 hours, 15 minutes, 22 seconds. That was the first thing as soon as I finished. Um, Thinking, all right, well, here's the bar: 7 hours, 15 minutes, 22 seconds. Um, did I finish? Yes. Could I have done better? Yes. And now I know. Now I've experienced it. Now it's in the bag. Now that is in. As David Goggins would say, that is now currently in my cookie jar. So I've accomplished that. I did that. I know I can do it. I know I can do it better now. So I wanted to talk about bars today, guys, because it was something that I never, for the longest time, never really did. I never set bars and tried to even compete with myself. Like I said, that's something that I think a lot of us maybe we struggle with. Maybe we don't ever really compete with ourselves to do better, to really push ourselves to be better, the best versions of ourselves, to set bars for ourselves, to whatever the goal may be. Again, the example I'm giving right now is my running. But you could set goals in bars in any aspect of our lives, and I think it's something that we don't do enough of. So that's all I kind of wanted to talk about today was these bars that I have set and that I keep resetting. But I wanted to talk about it because I think it's very important for us to do, and I think it's something that we should continue to do. We should continue to set these bars. And by setting these bars, I mean by having these goals and keep pushing forward until we obtain them. And once we obtain them, we know, one, that it's possible. Something that seemed so impossible, a goal that seemed so unreachable, has been done. It's reachable. We know we can do it now. So first set these bars by obtaining your goals, and then once you have the bar set by knowing, all right, I can do this, keep raising them. Let's see how fast you can do it. If it's not necessarily running, whatever the case may be, whatever your bar is, but see how efficient you can get at it, how fast you can do it, how maybe the quality of how you do it gets better. There's always things you can continue to raise the bar. One thing I like to continue to go back on is an example I came across last year, and it just something that always stuck with me because it was right when I started to change my mentality on life in general. It's deals with golfing, and when you golf, there's different tees you can golf at. You can start at a tee that gets you closer to the hole, or you can start at the back tee, which gets you farther from the hole, and the difference is probably only a 30-yard difference. So it's big, but it's not too big. It shouldn't necessarily alter your game too much. Yes, it is there to alter the game. I get that, but my theory behind it is you're never going to get better unless you really continue to push yourself towards the back and go as far as you can back and continue to work on your game. Make it as hard as possible because you're going to get better by making it hard. You're not going to get better by taking the easier tees. And this is an example I give just because it's something that, the last few times I went golfing, everyone's like, let's shoot from the easy tees. Let's shoot from the easy tees. And I feel like I'm the only one with the mindset of, no, let's keep pushing ourselves back. Let's keep making it harder because we're never going to improve our games unless we make it harder. And the whole moral of this golf story, because I'm kind of going on a tangent, is even the last few times I did do this, I golfed with people. They golfed from the front tees. I golfed from the back tees. And I beat them. I still beat them. So you're only going to get better by challenging yourself, by making things harder, by setting the bar. Okay, you got the bar. Okay, clearly I can golf. I can golf from these front tees. Okay, well, yeah, I'm clearly not a Tiger Woods. My score can clearly still improve from this close tee, but maybe I step back a little bit farther, and maybe I realize that the thing that's really screwing up my game isn't necessarily the first shot out of the thing. Maybe it's my short game. Maybe it's my putting. That was something I realized. It wasn't even the first drive that was really affecting my my score. It was the shots farther, like the putts and all of that stuff, that really wreaked havoc on my golf score. So either way, to each their own. I think it is best to continue to set bars and to keep raising them and resetting them. So for that, your daily discipline, guys, it is to do that. It is to set some bars in your life. First, know what your goals are. If you get them accomplished, know that it's capable. Even if you haven't got them accomplished, I promise it is capable. Keep grinding. Don't feel discouraged. I know it's impossible to not feel discouraged at points, but trust the process. Keep grinding. If you're passionate about it and it's something that you really, truly want, no matter what, just keep grinding. I'm telling you. And your goals will happen. Maybe not necessarily how you always had them planned out, but I think things will fall in place a lot when you really are working hard towards something and just in that good mentality. So in general, set those bars by accomplishing your goals, and then continue to raise them. Once you have set that bar and you've accomplished it, and you know, hey, I can do this. Now, like I said, try to do it more efficiently. Try to do it faster. Try to do it with better quality. Try just to get better overall in general. Continue to reset the bars of how you're going to improve. So that is your daily discipline. It is to set the bar for today. How are you going to improve tomorrow? Okay, you know what you did today. What are you going to do to improve on it tomorrow? That is your daily discipline for the day. Other than that, thank you guys so much for listening and following along. I am your host, Scott. This is Defining Discipline Podcast. This is episode 176. If you guys can, please give us a like, a subscribe, a follow, and a share on our Instagram, our Facebook, our TikTok, and our YouTube, and whatever podcast streaming platform you guys have been listening on. Be sure to go give the 100-mile challenge for June a donation. You can find that link on the Defining Discipline Instagram story, as well as the Defining Discipline Facebook story. Thanks so much for listening. I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 177. Quick note to add, every single day from here on out is a PR. Today was a PR. 176 days. I've never ran 176 days in a row, so that's just a PR in general. And I've never ran 176 days in a year. So every single day from here on out would be a PR of days in a row, as well as days in a year. So that's just something to note. Thank you guys so much for listening and following along again. I will see you tomorrow, episode 177. This is the end of episode 176. Peace.